Very much also Charlie and the Future of London team for inviting me here today. Right, click. I'm really excited to learn about this new programme organised by Future of London, and the fact that they've chosen really to focus on this idea of co-production between communities and public bodies, and how we can really, there's really specific challenges of that collaboration. So I really hope I can contribute something towards that. And I'll be sharing from my own experience of running a consultancy, Ecomotive, working to support community-led housing projects over the last 10 to 15 years, and also my Churchill Fellowship, where I've been in Germany and Switzerland looking at some larger scale projects where very much the local authorities are a very key leader and partner in those projects. I've only got 10 minutes, so just to make sure that, I really get the key points in, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about first of all. The 3 key points I'd like you to take away from this talk today is firstly that, and I think we all know this, but let's be really clear, community-led housing is more than just about housing. It's a route of delivery of integrated social value across a range of key areas. And in that, there's a valuable role for public bodies to play. So the second key point is public authorities have a really clear role to play in this. And the best examples are where local authorities understand and actively embrace the role of communities as key partners in this delivery. And thirdly, that these relationships this really depends on trust. Everyone has to trust each other. But trust doesn't just come out of nowhere. It has to be based on some kind of clear expectations, mutual respect, and development of a clear framework within which everyone's participating. So let's be clear, we have a range of really, really significant challenges here that I'm sure that you're all working on in your various professions. And at the top of the list here, I put climate emergency, and I really wanted to highlight this because this is something that is so topical at the moment, and with the latest reports coming out that we have 12 years to make really, really massive cuts in our carbon emissions. And so the context of us delivering housing today and thinking how long that housing is going to be in existence, I think this is really, really key that we embrace this right now. But of course, affordable housing is something that we all know, especially in the capital here, is a massive challenge. And then within society, for individual people, there's, especially young people, a real lack of hope that's being talked about here. How can we get people back on board, participating in society? And how can we get people relating to each other and turning around this social isolation and mental health challenges that we're hearing more and more about? The ageing population is obviously another big one, and I see that that's something Future of London is looking at as well. And how do we deal with caring for those people? And the lack of quality housing that actually meets people's needs. How can we deliver homes that people actually want to live in, where they'll be happy to live, and that meet their changing needs over their lifetimes? And the need to deliver this on a large scale, and we're all aware of the really significant housing targets that you have all over, but especially in London. So how can we actually scale this up? So here are some, I want to just talk through a few examples of different examples for how community-led or citizen-led housing projects have been actively tackling these challenges. So the climate emergency, what I want to say here is that community groups or people delivering their own housing will very naturally want to do that in a way that is thinking to the future, because people aren't investing their many voluntary hours in developing projects without thinking about the legacy of that project. And so this example here is a scheme that I visited in Stuttgart in Germany. And this is a scheme where the collective of people building these homes, this apartment block, really were committed to reducing their carbon emissions. So they have built their home with solid timber, and this is actually a carbon positive house because of the materials they've used. And the council chose that group based on their environmental and social criteria that they'd submitted to the council when applying to the site. Now, affordability, I think what's really key here is that communities know what the needs are in their local area. And so, for example, this Lilac project in Leeds that you may have heard of here, co-housing project, but they base the rent on the individual household's monthly income. So people never pay more than 35% of their monthly income for this scheme. And the ability for residents and other members of the community to actively participate in projects, really that experience has so many different opportunities for learning, and not just skills development, but the kind of self-confidence and self-empowerment that comes with that, that when people go away from projects, they start being able to more actively participate across society. And possibly they learn new skills that will gain them employment as well. So Kayomi here on the right, learned to, she installed the tiles in her own bathroom in this Bristol Community Land Trust project. Her mum helped her. And she'd never picked up a tool or done any building before, but look at the smile on her face there. Now this is a brochure from a housing co-op in Freiburg in Germany. When was the last time you saw an image like this on the brochure for a mainstream developer-led scheme? This is something that's really, really powerful. I think this is one of the key things, one of the key benefits that comes from community-led housing, is people getting to know each other, people collaborating together and being stronger together. And from that, all sorts of benefits come. People share resources, people help each other out when things get tough. And this is the kind of thing, this is the kind of glue that's going to be more and more important in holding our society together into the future. Intergenerational housing, I spoke before about the ageing population, but how do we care for those people in a way that is respectful, that gives them a good quality of life and that keeps them interacting with other people? So this is a scheme that I visited in Tübingen in Germany, and it's a scheme that was designed by a collective of private individuals collaborating together. It's a co-housing scheme, but they've included within their development, in the lower bit in the middle there, that's a supported living unit for 8 elderly people with dementia. They have a couple of carers living with them full-time. But in the central courtyard, they can come out and interact together with their neighbours, and so they have a really nice space to live in. And then what happens when you give people the choice to design their own homes? What happens is you have that opportunity for individual expression and people being able to design what they want to live. You get diversity, but also quality of design. Now looking on, I know scale is an issue that's very important, and this is a scheme that was developed by a large housing cooperative in Zurich in Switzerland. And this is a scheme which goes over a number of blocks, and it houses 1,300 people. And this is an example of large-scale development. And this is the city of Munich, where, I don't know if you can see, but there are a number of different large-scale regeneration projects happening. Each of these is about between 20 and 40 hectares. And each of these schemes, the council has allocated around 50% of the plots to collective schemes. So that's a mixture of privately funded schemes and housing cooperatives. So this is possible, and there's a competitive process by which schemes bid for sites. Now, what role can local authorities play in this? So here's just a few examples, and I think hopefully more of this will come out into the discussion. It's about, first of all, you need to build your confidence. How do we build the confidence of local authorities that this is a route to delivery? It's about seeing projects in action. It's about learning from the benefits of things that have already happened. And it's about recognising these wider benefits, the integrated social value. It's about developing relationships with groups and that trust. It's about then, kind of mechanically speaking, how can sites be allocated, either for sale or long-term lease? It can be a competitive process, so you get the best schemes coming forward. How can how can funding from the GLA or other sources be used to fund staff and other support? It's about land disposals being based on best value, not best practice, and how we can calculate those values. And it's about potentially facilitating access to finance, perhaps guaranteeing loans. Yeah, I just wanted to finish off by, I want to recognise that these are not easy challenges. These are not, it's going to take time to develop this. It's not going to be quick to develop all of these, but we do start having to make steps in that direction. And but the experience from countries where this kind of method of housing has been done for many years. I really wanted to share this example from Mayor Solke from Tübingen in Germany, where they've been delivering this kind of housing for kind of 20, 25 years. And he says, my experience is that community-led housing is a very high value as an instrument for the cities. The value in my eyes is more diverse, more vibrant neighbourhoods created by the people themselves. And he is a very active advocate, and that is reflected right the way down through the council. And just to finish off here, here's a quote from a participant as well in the Bristol CLT project, and she helped to build her own house. More projects like this are worth investing in as a creative and economical part of an overall solution to the current housing crisis. Co-production saves money, but it also builds community, resilience and social cohesion. Added values we need more than ever. And just to finish off, you might recognise this gentleman here from the Russ in London. This stuff works, let's make something happen. Thank you.